Welcome to the Superhero Sidekick Leadership Coaching Podcast with Joel Smith and Joe Baker. We're here to help you develop your superpowers. This is the Superhero Sidekick Coaching Podcast. I'm Joel Smith.
I'm Joe Baker. We're not here to be the superhero. We just want to be your sidekick and help you along in building your business, building your not-for-profit. Let's help you grow it fast and really scale.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook and visit us at superherosidekick.com. Welcome to the Superhero Sidekick Coaching Podcast. I am Joel Smith. My partner, Joe Baker, is not with us today. He's trying to fix his ankle. He broke it a couple months ago, and so he's got some work to do on that still. So today in our virtual studio, we have a couple of pretty fascinating ladies. I met them briefly for about 30 seconds, maybe 3 years ago or maybe 4 years ago at a John Maxwell conference. But so I've got Shila Morris and Kay Salerno. And so let me tell you about them. This description is going to blow you away, and because they have a lot of titles, they have a lot of things that they are. So on their website, I was reading this and it sounded great. So they are sister entrepreneurs, best friends, restaurant owners, entrepreneurs, business partners, mothers, wives, vegetarians, and Disney lovers. That is awesome. And then I guess I would add a few more to that too, like speakers, podcasters, bloggers, marketing consultants, and leadership developers. Is that right?
It is. Well, thank you so much, Joel, for having us here. We're delighted, and we're sad to not get to visit with Joe, but it kind of works out because you still have 3 people here.
There's
just 2 on this side this time.
That's true. Who knows? Maybe 4 would be too crowded. So yeah, this is great. Well, hey, I really wanted to have you guys on the show because we have a lot in common. We're all 3 of us here are John Maxwell people, right? I've been a John Maxwell person, a team member since about 2017. I know you guys go back further than that, but you guys have even more of a connection with John Maxwell. You guys do some marketing with him, right?
Yeah, in 2015, Shila and I joined the team, and the very first time we went to a John Maxwell team event, there was literally no social media happening at all. And we're, self-respecting millennials, so that's the first thing that we do is look for any kind of social media at an event, right? We got to know what are my hashtags, what do I do? And there was no presence at all. And at this time, we had already built up a very successful marketing strategy for our business, had other people say for our restaurant company, had other people saying, who does your marketing? We're like, well, we do.
So people kept asking us, and we formed a little boutique agency. So by the time we find ourselves in that room in 2015, we had some marketing chops under our belt, and we go to the president of the John Maxwell team at the time, and we say, for goodness sake, let us run the social media while we're here. There's so much gold. There's so much opportunity. We just can't bear to see it go to waste when there's transformation and leadership and amazing things happening inside of this room. So thank goodness he took that leap of faith. He trusted us and gave us the credentials. And the long and short of it is 2 weeks later, we found ourselves negotiating the contract to architect the marketing system that the John Maxwell team still uses to this day, accounting for over $100 million in sales. We saw huge results and really helped them, and then turned the keys back over to them a couple of years ago and said, now you guys can run the system and we'll teach the members how to do the marketing for themselves. And that's really what our role is now with the John Maxwell team.
Oh, that's terrific. I love it how you guys just went and got it. You saw a need and you said, hey, we gotta talk to them. They're missing something. And so you just went out and got it. That's what entrepreneurs do, right? They see a need and they just go get it. They go solve a problem. That's what we do. Sure. So I love that. So in addition to, John Maxwell, you guys also are restaurant owners, just like me. I own 8 Papa Murphy's restaurants and been doing that for a long time. But you guys, tell us a little bit about your restaurants.
We have an 11-unit breakfast and lunch restaurant chain called The Squeeze Inn. 6 of the units are our own. 5 of them are franchise units, and it is so much fun. We're in 4 states, Idaho, California, Nevada, and we've got a single location in Texas. And the restaurant has been in our life and in our blood. For me personally, almost 2/3 of my entire existence has had this restaurant in it, because when I was 10 and Shila was 17, our parents literally bet everything they had. And that's not like an exaggeration. Like they literally bet the entire retirement, all the savings. They called in every family favor. They acted completely rationally, and they bought a failing restaurant in a California mountain ski town. And overnight we became a restaurant family.
So Kay's 10, I'm 17, and we start working the restaurant, baking biscuits at night and doing the laundry, and then getting there in the day and serving families. So really going from being the family that got to eat out to serving the families that ate out. And it became part of our DNA. So we are young, but for the last 18 years, we've been engrossed in the family business, engrossed in the restaurant business. Our parents are now retired, and we're the active leaders of the company and the growth. And it's been a rough year to be a restaurant owner, at least in certain segments, the breakfast and sit down segment included. But we feel glad that we've made it through. And we really know that the leadership principles and the entrepreneurship tactics and strategies that we've built over the last 18 years have helped us survive this trying time for our industry.
Oh, wow. See, that is a great story. I love to hear that story. So for you guys listening, if you want to hear more about that story, I heard Shila talking about this on a TED Talk and told the whole story. It was really fast. You have to go listen to that if you have a chance. It's a great family story. So I love the fact that you guys just bond together as a family and you're running this company, because that's not a traditional way. Well, it is traditional going way back, but it's not a modern way to really run things. People will say, hey, you shouldn't go into business with your family. And I went into business with my best friends, and I heard the same thing too. Don't go into business with your best friend. It's just not good and healthy. But I have some theories on this, but what would you guys say? Why can you say, hey, it does work and it can work if? How would you fill the rest of that sentence?
I think one of those ifs that's really important is having a strong foundational relationship before you go into business together. Hopefully, by the time you get into business, you've already had a couple of tough conversations around personal things that have been bothering you. You've been able to work them out, because in the entrepreneurial and the business sector, and when money gets involved, things totally change, and feedback is constant, right? Everyone has an idea of how things need to get done, but the end of the day, it has to get done, and everyone still has to get along. So a strong foundational relationship going into it is a really smart thing. But I know, Shai, you've got some really good tips too. Seeing as though she's fired our mom.
Yeah.
Mom's fired her.
Yeah.
Mom's fired
great.
me.
Yeah.
I think we both fired our parents.
Dad
when they
rehired us.
retired.
Yep.
Yeah. Dad rehired us. So it's a bit of a roller coaster.
You know, you're going to have dramatics in any work relationship because there's pressure, and iron sharpens iron. And if you're building a business and you're moving something forward, you're going to have those moments. Now, certainly they can feel more impactful or more painful if you're related to that person or you have personal history. So we've really found that you should be in a functional relationship before you go into a business relationship first. It's kind of like the couple that's in trouble shouldn't have a baby, right? Like if you are in trouble as a family, don't open a business. It doesn't make things better. But if you've already got that functional foundation, really looking at setting clear terms and expectations for what the roles are that are going to be. And it felt really weird at first, but we've always had partner meetings with agendas and due dates and line items and clear expectations. And at first it was kind of around the living room, and it felt silly to have a piece of paper with mom and dad as we talk about the partner meeting. But as time has gone on, we've been able to refer back to those. We've been accountable to the things that have come out of there. We had a safe space where we could talk about some partnership issues. So I think creating those boundaries and that space is something that's really helped set us up for success. And then ultimately being able to realign constantly on what the greater truth is, right? Like the fact is we disagree on this, but the truth is that we're both team success, or we're both team family, or we're both team squeeze in. So we're being able to reorient back to what's that greater goal, what's that greater good, and realizing that you're on the same team, even when you disagree, has helped us get through some of those tougher moments.
Wow. I love that. I love that greater truth, really, because the greater truth should always be the tiebreaker, right? Always. Yeah. So I love that. So you got, in addition to your restaurants, though, you guys just started, you have your own business too, where you're co-founders of a personal leadership development and marketing company called Kay Shi, right? When did you guys start that? And tell us about it.
Very creative, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of talents and a lot of interests. And as any multi-passionate entrepreneur knows, that it's not good to stifle those talents and those interests. So once one business is working successfully enough for you to maybe stretch those entrepreneurial legs just a little bit, then that is what you get to do. And so currently we are getting to work on bringing more personal growth and development leaders and authors into the space, just like we did with John Maxwell, right now working with Joseph McClendon III, who is a wonderful Black leader who works right alongside Tony Robbins. He is just a top-notch gentleman, and we can't wait to be bringing a program forward for him. But yeah, when you find ways that you're able to serve the world and add value, and it works for you, and it doesn't kill the baby, aka the other business that you've got going on, then it can work for your multi-entrepreneurial, passionate structure that allows you to really expand and express who you are uniquely.
And, as we kind of moved in from architecting that system behind the scenes for the John Maxwell team to teaching members how to market themselves, we are very skilled and very well versed at marketing a brick and mortar business, the restaurant business, and those marketing principles apply across lines. But most of our experience and our examples came from that, or building the giant conglomerate that is the system behind a huge organization like the John Maxwell team. But teaching an individual who's just starting out and they want to be like the person who delivers disc in their community, their marketing is going to look a little bit different. And we really like to come from a place of speaking with experience. So we said, why don't we work on our own personal brand, that Kay Shi brand, and we'll build it alongside them so that we can be sharing those insights and those lessons as well, and then kind of funnel through our ideas and use it as an outlet. So the Kay Shi brand is really just our kind of public facing persona that is the sisters. It's kind of behind the curtain of the entrepreneurial journey. It's our philosophical thoughts on life.
Coming at you from the front lines of entrepreneurship.
That's exactly what we do. And those front lines were brutal through COVID, but our audience really respected the fact that we were willing to kind of share all of that and what was happening. And it helped rally around the cause. And there was really a time in April 2020 where we wouldn't have made it if we hadn't had that rallying and that community support that truly was born out of that Kay Shi brand. So it's not only saved the baby, the original business, but it also gives us an outlet, and it helps us give credibility when we're trying to teach others how to market themselves from that kind of ground level up.
Yeah, well, that's great. I completely understand that. That's so what you're saying, if I understand you right, is hey, if we're going to coach other people, we're going to teach other people, we got to be able to do this ourselves. And when you're able to do this yourself, when you're able to create your own brand and make the connection and do the marketing yourself and really run your business well, that just gains you a lot of credibility in the eyes of anybody that needs help out there. Yeah, I love that. That's great. And I try to do the same thing too. I've got joelsmithcoach.com so Joel Smith Coaching, but if I can't run my own business, who's going to want to hire me for something, right? Because there's one thing to have a coach that just has some kind of a certificate that they, paid for and has a lot of wisdom to throw around or a couple of models to work from. And it's another thing to have experience, years of experience going through the trials and the tribulations, because that's really what makes, credible people that can be teachers and sharers of success. So I appreciate what you guys do, completely, just being in the same businesses. It seems like we're in like 3 or 4 of the same types of businesses too. So tell me about your podcast a little bit more. How could people get a hold of your podcast and listen to more about what you guys have to say?
Okay, a super selfish plug, but our podcast is really fun. Really fun. Like if you guys are looking for something really short and sweet, this is not the place where we're going to drone on and on for an hour about leadership. If you want that, frankly, there are more qualified experts out there to talk to you for an hour on leadership. But we have a daily 5-minute podcast called The Mentorship Quest. And if there's anything that Shila and I that can boil down what I think our passion really for life is this seeking of mentorship and the turning around and the giving it to others. And so we seek mentoring from everything from Disney movies to rocks to actual physical people mentors. And we bring our listeners one quote every single day. And in 5 minutes or less, we take you from quote to quest, and you get a little action item at the end to start your day off right, or to maybe catch you right in the middle. But it's 5 minutes of motivation, inspiration, excitement, and then action that's sure to to help you no matter what state you're in.
It is really fun. It's this little bite-sized 5 minutes to start off your day. And we certainly do not claim to be the mentors you need, but we claim to be the mentorship conduit that can help you bring some lessons. And we share our stories and experiences. We'll read that quote. We'll share kind of our take on it and how we've experienced in our life, and then give a little quest to apply it to your day and get out of your ear, because you've got plenty competing for your attention. But we've had a lot of fun. Our podcast has morphed over the last 4 years from that kind of 30-minute format once a week down to this daily, and it's a lot of fun, and we're enjoying it quite a bit. The mentorship quest.
We just recently recorded episode 315. So
nice, great. So it reminds me of John Maxwell's 1 minute with Maxwell, except yours is like 5 times better. So that's all good. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Direct quote.
Well, ladies, I really appreciate you guys being on the call today. I'm fascinated by what you guys are able to accomplish, and I know that part of the reason why you guys have been able to do what you've been able to do is because you're doing it together, and it's like a vine that just feeds on itself, right? And so I appreciate that. So tell us again, if anybody out there wants to get a hold of you guys and see something, what you guys do, or want to hire you as consultants or speakers, where would they go?
you can find us at KayandShi, KayandShi.com. That's also our Instagram handle at KayandShi. We'd love to have you. Of course, we're on Facebook as well, if maybe that's where you hang out. But we post daily on our social media channels. We'd love to see you there. If you want to plug into that super fun, super easy to listen to 5-minute daily podcast, be sure to check out the Mentorship Quest. You can find it anywhere you find podcasts. We'd love to be a voice in your ear.
And we would also love to tell you that we literally don't sell you anything.
No.
We don't sell stuff. So we are for hire kind of on those one-off projects and our larger partnerships.
Or if you want to sponsor us and you got a product.
Or through the John Maxwell team, but we are not here to sell you a program or coaching. So you don't have to be afraid of that. We would just love to have you come on down and let us add value to you.
We, in fact, help other people do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we are the Superheroes Sidekick Coaching Podcast, so we have to ask. This is a question I love to ask at the end of each program. But so maybe you can each just share quickly. So what's the one superhero that is the one? I'm sorry, this will get edited, by the way. So what is the one superpower that you guys have that helps you accomplish what you've accomplished?
That we do have, or
Yeah.
that we wish we had?
No, that you have.
That we do have. Well, it's probably a
Each
co-answer.
other.
Yeah. And what we really like to say is that between the two of us, we create infinite energy. We feel like we're able to, when I'm weak, she's strong. When she's weak, I'm strong. And we're able to rely on each other in a way that feels like it's so much more holistic. You never have your back uncovered because we've got the 360 angle, and there's so much security in that. So it's worth trying to form a partnership with someone you've got that kind of congruency with, because that infinite energy can really create something that's special and so much bigger than what one person can do.
Oh, great. That is an excellent answer. So, hey, well, thank you very much for both of you ladies taking the time to be on the program today. And so if anybody's out there listening and you want to know more about it, please feel free to contact them. Also, we want to hear what you have to say. So send us some feedback and comments and be sure to go to superherosidekick.com or go to joelsmithcoach.com and check us out and give us some feedback and subscribe to the podcast. So, hey, thank you, everybody. Thanks, ladies, and we'll see you next time.